Hey nerds! Eating a cosmic brownie today. I'm gonna let y'all know how it goes. I wanted to bring up SNL. We were talking about SNL earlier.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask the audience if they... I remember hearing a interview with Lorne Michaels like in the past. I want to say it was on the Norm Macdonald show on Netflix when he interviewed Lorne Michaels. But I do have like vague memories of him saying it elsewhere or reading it in interviews. But he was saying that your favorite SNL cast, as over the years, he tended to realize that it was when people were like fresh out of high school and entering college, that was their favorite SNL cast. Like a lot of people would be like, oh, my favorite is such and such. My favorite is...
Okay, yeah.
And I want to know if that is true for you, because it's not for me.
I really didn't get into SNL until... I mean, I watched it a little bit when I was younger because my brother got into it for a while. But I didn't really watch it a whole lot, really, until I was much older, like an adult. Like a real adult, not a fake adult. If that makes sense.
Like over 20.
Yeah.
So who was like the cast? Like you're talking Bill Hader, Fred Armisen?
No.
Later,
Well,
before?
I don't know. I mean, because I remember seeing Will Ferrell and Sherry O'Terry, the Spartans, Spartan cheerleaders when I was younger and my brother was watching it. I never really watched it when Lonely Island was doing their thing.
So after that?
Honestly, dude, I haven't really watched it consistently until probably the last few years, to be honest.
That's kind of funny to me. Like,
I've seen episodes here and there and particular skits here and there, but it wasn't until more recently that I've tried to regularly watch it because they upload basically all the sketches to YouTube now the day after that it airs. So that's where I watch them at.
we used to watch it on Hulu back when it was still on Hulu, and we would just catch it like the day after, or if the TV was on in the front or something, and we would just catch it live. I just hate commercials, so it's so hard for me to watch the live version when I can wait a day. Like sometimes we did watch the live episodes, like when Lady Gaga would do stuff. I would always want to watch the whole thing because I'm a Gaga fan. But anyway, I guess my favorite would have been before Andy Samberg left before the rest of them, right?
I don't know, man.
It was Andy Samberg, Bill Hader, Fred Armisen, Seth Meyers. That I think is my favorite cast. I think that was a solid. Oh, and Keenan was there. Before Will Forte left. So that'll be my line in the sand is when Will Forte left. They still had like Jason Sudeikis. They still had, Fred Armisen. It was before Kristen Wiig got real big because I'm not a huge Kristen Wiig fan.
Okay.
I don't hate her guts, but
she's kind of funny.
I thought she was funny in a lot of sketches, but there's a lot of... It's going to make me sound so misogynistic. There's a lot of women on SNL, and maybe it's not their fault. Kate McKinnon is the worst, I think, at this thing that I'm about to say.
Okay.
Because Kate McKinnon cracked me up so much when she first started, and she was like eager to please, and she was there to do everything she could. But there's this thing that I'm trying to think of you tell me if there's a man who does the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know if this is just a female trait, but man, I'm trying to think. There were some men hosts that would do it, but this was not a trait that I noticed amongst the male cast. When they come out on stage and the crowd starts cheering, and then they do this like smile and wink to the crowd type shit.
What do you mean? It's like at the end of the show?
No, I'm talking during a sketch.
Oh,
Like they walk out in the middle of a sketch and they walk out
like breaking
like
character.
yeah, I'm here. What's going on over this way type shit. You know what I mean?
Like
Like
breaking character. Is that what you're talking about?
uh
Didn't Jimmy Fallon do that a lot?
no, I'm not talking about breaking character. Breaking and laughing uncontrollably is one thing.
Okay,
Hamming it up for the audience is a total other thing.
and that's what you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. You would never. I cannot recall one instance of Will Ferrell, who is arguably the biggest star to come out of SNL, but I can. It's very hard for me to find a single instance where he would come out, ham it up for the audience in acknowledgement of him being there, not accounting for him hosting, because I feel like it takes out, or it takes you away from the performance. Will Ferrell would be so locked into the character he was playing. You know what I'm talking about? He would commit fully and 100%. But then you watch like Kate McKinnon and she comes out and she's always like smiling, winking, and nodding to the audience and stuff, and it's like, come on, dude, you're not that.
As I already admitted, I'm not exactly. I haven't been the steadiest viewer over the years, so I really couldn't say if any of the dudes do that or not. But I mean, I'm just basically taking your word for it that Kate McKinnon does do that.
Well, Kristen Wiig kind of did it. Maybe really, I can't even say women. I think I'm lumping them all together. It's really kind of them too. But that wasn't something like, maybe Molly Shannon did it in the 90s, but maybe for a different reason. Like maybe she couldn't do her whisper voice for Mary Catherine Gallagher until everyone stopped clapping. You know what I mean? Like I do my hands like that because she would smell her armpits and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, I'm certain that there was some guys who probably did it. But Kate McKinnon is like the most egregious example of someone who kind of hams it up so much, and I hated it. Like by the end of her being on SNL, that's what it felt like. It felt like, you know what though? The funniest thing Kate McKinnon did was with A.D. Bryant when they would come out dressed as men.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? When they would come out in character as a male, but it was always like it was those politicians. I don't remember who they were.
So they were more recent. So I would include, I guess, their tail end. I guess I would include the tail end of their SNL careers in the time I was watching it, and yeah, I remember them being pretty funny together.
Yeah, and when they would do the dress up like men, and I always had a suspicion that they did that because, for one, it worked for them and it was funny, but also it was kind of like men back in the day would have to dress as women because they didn't have enough women.
Well, that's like Shakespeare times, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, back then, and also 70s with Monty Python.
Allowed.
Well, 70s with Monty Python, you know what I mean? Like, so I figured that's what they were doing, but it worked. It was funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's part of a sketch, like, it's funny, and I guess whatever. But I always found that to be really funny. But although... Okay, back to the original point, though. Mm-hmm. This SNL cast right now that you've been paying attention to, loosely, do you know any of their names?
I know Keenan.
Do you know...
I know Michael Shea and Colin Jost.
Of course, because they go by their first names on Weekend Update. You know Mikey Day.
Yes, the skinny white dude.
You know Andrew Dismukes.
No, I don't know him.
Well, I just reminded you. You don't remember who that is? No. The goofy white guy that kind of looks like John Mulaney?
Is he the one that does the spot-on Trump impression?
No, that guy, I don't know his name. I don't remember his name, but that dude is a spot-on Trump impression.
He also does a really good Biden, but the problem is he can only do one of them in a scene. So,
and then there's also Ego. I don't know if you pronounce the N. Ego Wodum. She's got the N before her last name, but it's like kind of like the Korean Nguyen or Nguyen.
I know what's the Asian guy's name?
Bowen Yang.
Yeah, I know him. I mean, I guess I didn't know his name off the top of my head, but...
And then there's Punky Johnson.
I don't know if the I know a lot of people don't like them, but I think they're kind of funny. The Please Don't Destroy guys. I don't know their names off the top of my head, but
Yeah,
I
me
think they're
neither.
funny. I don't know. Are they like an official part of the
Uh,
cast, or they just
I think they're trying to recreate the Lonely Island stuff.
okay?
I really do. I really feel like that's the whole purpose they're there, is to try and recapture some of that. But it
Well,
just it's not the
I
same.
did read online somewhere that like I think two of them are like sons of past like SNL writers, so there might be like a little bit of a
Nepotism,
nepotism issue going on. But like I
classic.
said, I think they're pretty funny. So
They've had some sketches I thought were pretty funny, but I don't think any person who's a cast member on SNL right now is gonna go on. They don't have that it factor.
yeah, they don't have any superstars at the moment. I would agree with that.
I don't think they've
Um,
had superstars since Kristen Wiig left.
Keenan's coming out in The Good Burger 2, but also if Keenan was going to be like a superstar, he wouldn't have been on SNL for 20 years or however long he's been on there.
Well, I think Keenan, he might not be a super mega, box office draw or something, but I do believe that Keenan will always be relevant in Hollywood,
Yeah, but
and
it's
he's like
like,
kind of earned it.
I mean, relevancy, yeah, but I think what we're getting back to is could they carry a show or
No,
a
well,
movie by themselves? Do they have what it takes to be the leading man or leading woman in another project?
but you see, is that not also the double edged sword for Keenan with Good Burger 2? Is, let's be real, you can't make Good Burger without Ed. You can
Yeah,
make it
yeah,
without Keenan or his
yeah,
character at least.
yeah. And plus, it's not like Good Burger 2 is like this huge, project.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
basically just going for the nostalgia, right?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
would not be surprised at all if I read that like they basically filmed it in a weekend, the
yeah.
entire movie.
Like I'm a Good Burger fan. We introduced it to Penny like a year or two ago or something like that.
And she did not care for it.
No, she loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, she absolutely. I catch her in there watching it sometimes on her own, and then when we found out they were making a sequel, she was like, "What?" like all excited, and I was like, "Oh, Penny, it's like transference of how I felt in the '90s." Yeah, I mean, we watch Keenan and Kel pretty regular, but so yeah, that's my kind of gripe with SNL right now. Is it feels like they don't have and really like before Kristen Wiig, who was the last like big name to come off?
Mm, I mean, Andy Samberg, he's had a lot of success. Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That went
Yeah.
for how many seasons?
I think him and her left like at the same time, right? Or within a year of each other.
I don't know.
Like I think they left around the same time. Bill Hader, Fred Armisen. Like Fred Armisen is kind of in the same boat as Keenan. Like he'll always have something.
I think he's come out like once or twice already this season. I think so.
I haven't watched this season. I only saw last night's
Or
episode.
maybe
That
it
was
was last
it.
season. I can't remember. Might have
But
been this season.
but who else? Bill Hader, I think could do a lot more.
He didn't really get his big starring role until recently. Well, not
Barry.
recently, but I mean, I guess it's probably like 3 or 4 years ago with Barry.
But I thought Barry's been going on longer than that. I thought it was before the pandemic.
I can't remember.
I don't know. It's not important, I guess, except for to Bill Hader, who is like the funniest cast
Yeah,
member
but
of
Barry
all time.
is. If you haven't seen Barry on HBO, highly recommend. Very very funny.
Who do you legit feel like is the funniest cast member to ever be on SNL? I really do think it's Bill Hader.
Um,
That dude was versatile, had the best impressions. Ooh. He had the best impressions. He had memorable characters.
this is gonna be such like a trendy pick, but for me, it has to be Will Ferrell.
That's fair.
Step Brothers.
There's no denying. There's absolutely no denying like how good and integral he was to the success of his era.
Yeah, Step Brothers is personally for me one of. I would probably put it like in the top three for sure of my like favorite
Step
comedy
Brothers, really?
movies. Yeah.
What's your favorite part? I like to ask people that. You know this about me.
My favorite part of Step Brothers, probably the part where John C. Reilly gets home. He's like, replay my drum set? and then Will Ferrell's on the couch like, no, I wasn't playing it. And then
Why are you all
John C.
sweaty?
Reilly's like, why are you all sweaty? And he's like,
watching Cops.
oh, I was watching Cops.
My favorite part, and it's so stupid. It's with oh no, I forgot the actor's name. The guy who plays his brother, Will Ferrell's brother. Why do I forget that dude's name? Adam Scott?
From Parks and Rec.
Is it Adam Scott?
Sure, let's go with that.
Show me a picture of Adam Scott. I'm like 99% sure that's it.
He was also good in that movie.
Show me a picture of Adam Scott. Why is it not showing me a picture of Adam Scott?
If this is the guy we're talking about for Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Adam Scott. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Adam Scott. I was not about to let the show move on until I got that right. See you next week on the episode. Adam Scott. Whenever he says something and he picks up his shirt and he's all buff.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know why I crack up with that. I love those jokes.
Yeah, that's like
much.
Like an old Leslie Nielsen bit. From
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in the day
yeah.
from one of the Naked Gun movies, I think.
I love that bit so much. And I also like when they're driving in the car.
Yeah, when they're singing together, the acapella.
And I can go higher and higher. And then they almost crash at the end, and then they correct, and then they finish the song,
I think they were singing Sweet Child of Mine, right?
Yeah. The wife is funny. I forget her name. Jennifer? Is it Jennifer something?
Yeah, I don't know.
I would look it up, but
that movie is so good. Both Anchormans, I think, are hilarious.
Dude, did we talk about this already? Anchorman 2?
What about it?
So, we grew up like side adjacent, I guess, on opposite sides of the train tracks, But me, Casey, Marty, even me and Casey just before everybody, me, Casey, Benny, when we were growing up in the 90s, we would watch, like, Night at the Roxbury is one of my favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
All time.
I forgot about that.
One of the most underrated soundtracks of all time. That was back
when Chris Kattan was above Will
Yeah.
Ferrell and the Star Factor.
And so, 100% that movie, like, I can go on for days about Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah, I
like,
love that movie.
That was going to be my future. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But alas, things played out differently. Loved it. Loved Will Ferrell. We watched all those movies, old school. And then after old school, it was like straight to like Anchorman. And Anchorman was fantastic and we loved it. And then, dude, we watched Anchorman 2 when it came out. And then I guess we just kind of said, okay, that was funny. Like, I can live and breathe inside my head the entire Anchorman movie, Okay. I can quote it all day long. But Anchorman 2 just, nothing registered with me. We watched it the other day, and dude, I was laughing out loud. Like, me and Jen both were just losing our shit over the scene where she hits him in the ding dong. I gotta clean up my language.
I don't remember that.
And he's like, she in the pee-pee. Dude, every time he did that, the voice he was doing, like, it was just such a hard voice to emulate. I sat there and I've been trying to emulate it exactly. It's just such a funny scene. And
so what you were saying about the first time you watched Anchorman 2, and I guess it didn't really resonate with you. One thing about me is when I'm watching movies, I'm not really looking for, Oscar material all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not if I'm not, what's the term? I can't think of it. I'm not looking for someone to do a paradigm shift in the way we watch comedy movies or any kind of movie at all. For example, literally last night I watched Paul Blart 2.
I didn't even know they made a sequel.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Was it good though?
It's on Netflix and it's a funny movie.
The first one was really good.
Yeah, I liked the first one. The second one was also funny.
People knock that movie a lot, but like Kevin James is dedicated to his craft.
Yeah, like I said, Kevin James is not the world's best comedic actor, and that Paul Blart 2 is not going to win any awards for funniest movie ever, but I mean, it's funny. I enjoyed my hour and a half with it.
Let me preface
And that's all I needed.
I'm with you. We'll finish that thought. I'm with you that you do not have to. There doesn't have to be deeper meaning to. Everybody's looking for a Matrix, or everybody wants a freaking. Everybody wants a deep, complex show. That's why so many people watch all these psychological thrillers, and so they don't appreciate like a good, stupid comedy.
Yeah.
But the thing is that those dumb comedies, and I say dumb in quotations now that we know the definition of dumb,
We do.
they're intentionally made that way. There's no lack of intelligence or lack of common sense when they're making it. They're doing these things intentionally and on purpose to be dumb, to simulate dumb, which is what I like to model my life after. But
small spoiler for Paul Blart 2. Remember how at the end of the first one he gets married to, I forget what her name is. Was it Anna
redhead?
Faris? Yeah. I forget what her name
No,
was.
it's not Anna Faris. It was that redhead chick with the high-pitched voice. Or am I thinking of Observe and Report? Who's the chick from Observe and Report?
I don't know. But anyway, at the end of Paul Blart 1, so it's like a happy ending, right? He gets married and everything. Immediately, Paul Blart 2,
She's dead?
he finds out she's divorcing him like 7 days after they got married. And then also his mom gets run over by a truck and dies.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a little bleak.
It's kind of funny.
They went the Observe and Report route. Do you remember that movie with Seth Rogen?
Yeah, I remember it. I remember the full frontal nudity.
I don't remember the full frontal nudity.
When he's chasing, because remember part of the movie is him trying to find, I guess, the streaker or whatever.
Oh yeah,
as Creed would put it, the guy hanging brain.
Yeah.
And I remember there's one scene in the movie where he's chasing the dude and his wiener's all out.
I tend to, because I haven't watched it in a while. I just remember it being very bleak. It's such a dark movie.
Yeah, a little bit.
But the one thing that we all universally loved about that movie was it Michael Pena? His like criminal dude. Goes, damn, Ronnie, you is right as hell. That guy.
Yeah.
And he's like
Ant-Man and...
Yeah. His name's Michael Pena, right?
Sure, why not?
Shit, man. Michael Pena, my friend, I know you're going to be here next week, but my bad if I forgot. But what I was going to ask you about, circling back to Kevin James. One time, a long time ago, when we were watching Grown Ups,
Okay.
we were talking about Kevin James within our little group. And I had made the comment, and this is years ago, like when Grown Ups first came out, and I had made the comment, do y'all think Kevin James would have had a career if Chris Farley didn't die?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Maybe not.
You heard it here first.
Maybe
folks.
not as big of a career as he's had.
Probably wouldn't have got in with the.
But he got big on his own just from doing stand-up, right?
No, King of Queens.
I thought he did stand-up before. He did like sitcom
He might
stuff.
have done stand-up, but I have never seen a
He had
Paul Blart stand-up.
He had a stand-up on Comedy Central. I remember was pretty funny. I remember
Was
watching
that before King of Queens?
I don't know. He did. You know how Comedy Central presents? That was like a thing they used to do.
Shout out Mitch Hedberg. Comedy Central presents Mitch Hedberg.
There was a Kevin James one. It was pretty funny. And actually, I did see another stand-up special he did. Not recently, but maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe longer than that. And he wasn't as funny in that one, so...
I haven't. I'm telling you, I have straight up never. I've seen a lot of stand up in my life. I didn't know that Kevin James did stand up.
We should YouTube it after we finish this pod.
No. I like to keep him in the certain section of my brain. I don't want him to bleed over.
I still think he would have had a career, but
had a career. Yeah, that's too strong a statement. But he definitely wouldn't have been in Grown Ups.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Chris Farley would have been the other big body, you know.
Yeah.
Or what if Chris Farley lost all that weight at some point in the 2000s? You know what I mean? assuming, of course, that he lived.
We do know what he would look like if he was skinny.
Because of his brothers?
Because, do you remember Beverly Hills Ninja? There's this part near the end when someone like throws like a star or dagger or something at him, and he jumps in the air and does the splits, and he's like doing the splits, like each one of his legs is on a box, and it's so they just basically cut out his face
and put it on
put it on some dude doing the splits.
Wouldn't it have been funny if it was VD? What if it was funny if it was Van Damme?
Well, it could have been. I don't know. But so yeah, we do know what he would look like skinny, because that body definitely did not match the face.
We should make our own movie. Let's make a movie, a full-length movie, and we'll get famous Hollywood actors to be our stunt doubles, but we won't try and hide the fact.
Yeah.
So naturally, my stunt double would be Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme for the uninitiated. You would naturally have Terry Bradshaw, as he is now. He's such an older guy. God damn it. Or it'd be a wrestler. You could probably pull off Edge.
The other Terry. What's Hulk Hogan's last name?
Real name?
Yeah.
Bolea.
Terry Bollea instead of Terry Bradshaw.
Truthfully, I did want to say Hulk Hogan, but while you do have blonde hair, you don't have the skin of a hot dog. Shit, man. What did we do? What else we got? I know we got loud engines in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear that.
We can talk about the last couple of shorts we did. We haven't had any like sketches lately, but
we do a big thing to let people know though is this time of year is kind of a slower pace for content creators. Like I guess that's just a thing that during the holidays views just go down. And so we're kind of embracing that, and we're saving all of our good stuff for next week. Make sure you tune in.
So first off, we got Fall Fest, which some people say was forced.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
You pitched that to me, and truth be told, sometimes you pitch stuff, and I'm like, that sounds real dumb. But this sounded funny to me. I liked it. We filmed it.
Everything you have ever pitched me has been dumb.
And it did not do well at all. But I still liked it.
Sometimes I have kind of bad ideas.
I thought you did a really good job editing the reverse fall or whatever we called it.
Oh yeah. You like how it sounded? Yeah. And you know that was me sounding it out backwards.
Yeah, I know. I was in the room while you were doing it.
It wasn't too far away, though, was it?
Yeah, you did a good job.
Like, I literally was sitting there. Yeah, actually, let's talk about that for a second. So, I had to imagine in my mind what a word sounded like backwards.
Well, we typed it out on the computer, right?
Yeah. We typed it out, broke it up into syllables.
Yeah. And
then we tried to sound it out. And so, that was just one take Tony. I didn't put because I think I only did the, what was the word I went with? Was it the disqualified? Because it sounded better than...
let me see real quick.
Or did I do reverse fall?
I don't know. Keep talking while I watch this.
So basically, yeah, I just sounded it out, and I said it how it would sound in reverse, and then I took what I said in reverse, and I played it forwards, which is kind of, Inception-y. But, yeah, I thought it came out pretty damn good for just, nonsense. That is what...
reverse fall, yeah.
That was the short that we did, the Fall Fest.
Yeah.
Y'all should check that out, because it's, it's real silly.
That particular short could use the views.
See, that's the thing I was about to say was, we've done worse. We've done better for sure. Like, certainly this was middle of the road, I think, in terms of quality. Probably even on the higher end. But, I mean, only 100-something views. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Maybe because I had called Art fat in the comments. And they were like, damn, this dude's being real negative.
After that, we had the I'm looking for a movie one.
Which did really
which
well.
we've done a few of those, and I think of the ones of those we've done, this probably has done the best, right?
Yeah.
And you were telling me we did get a lot of positive feedback about it.
Well, actually, no.
Okay.
We did get positive feedback for Cut to the Chase, which that short came out great.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But that's not the one that did the best, if we count Facebook. Because the original one that we did, where, hey, dude, can I borrow a movie? That one did like 64,000 views.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so, this is like the fifth or fourth time that I've told you that. And every time it's like, oh, I didn't know that. And I'm like, damn, commit it to memory.
So that one was pretty funny. I also liked that one. And then last week we did the spicy but not too spicy short.
I thought that one was really funny.
That was another one of your ideas that was really funny. I liked.
That was a super funny premise, but it didn't do too hot, did it?
Yeah, it's only at 114 on YouTube right now.
See, that's what I'm saying is I don't understand. And that earlier when I referenced that, this time of year, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I hope that that's a part of it. I hope that the algorithm is not just saying, yo, dog, you make bad shorts.
Well, we've talked about it before, but just the way the short or TikTok basically format is, you have to grab their attention right away.
That's what your was for.
Otherwise, they'll swipe. And I think that's just what happened to that one. It didn't grab, for whatever reason, it didn't grab their attention right away.
I think that's the same thing with Fall Fest. When I was editing the Fall Fest episode, I cut a lot of dialogue from stuff that we had both said. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but... Or no, I think I might have actually left it in, and I bet you that's why it did bad. Was you saying, get your tickets? When you said, get your tickets, it sounded like we might have been promoting something.
Really? The YouTube algorithm can detect that kind of thing?
I mean, it's language. I mean, I don't know. I don't know a definitive answer, but I know there's a box that you can check that says, are you promoting something? And if it's paid promotion.
I think I'm going to say that one is probably just not as funny to the majority of people, because that's really like a Tim and Eric style humor.
True.
Which
is the most ultimate insult to me.
Which I think we both like. You not as much as me, but... I mean, not...
What would that type of comedy be
They're not
considered?
hugely successful, so...
What's that type of comedy called?
I don't know.
Awkward?
It is awkward, kind of, but...
Awkward out there?
Yeah, I don't know.
For the birds?
I don't know what you would call that kind of thing, but... We thought it was funny, and no one else did, apparently.
But it did kind of feel forced, though. Stupid ass.
And I think that was pretty much it as far as the shorts go. Yeah.
What about... Because we're still going to have to come up with another short for this week.
Well,
we'll worry about that. That. See, we haven't even done it yet, folks.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have some other people show up today. And... shout out to Erica and Trey. They're just off camera. We told them to be quiet while we talked. But I'm thinking about doing a series of videos where I repaint the boots on all of my action figures. Just the boots.
Okay.
I was wondering if there's any interest in that. I still need to paint those amiibos.
Yeah, remember we did pitch at one point just a series of you painting like that Kazuya amiibo or
I need a little bit.
Amiibo.
I need to put horns on it. I think it'd be cool to do it. I do have two of them. I think I still have two, right?
I don't know.
You can see them right there, right?
I see. Oh, yes, I do see two.
What if we dressed up? I dressed up as Vin Diesel because I'm going bald, and you're Paul Walker because you're blonde. Easy, right there.
As far as this pod goes, if you want, we can kind of talk about a little bit more of our D&D thing coming up. Have you 100% decided on what kind of character you want to play, or?
So I have amnesia.
Okay.
All I know is I wake up and I have a name tattooed on my chest. It's DJ Seagal.
Well, you do know your teammates, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it'll be easier if you just still recognize your crew.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Well, what I do know though is I was thinking about doing this voice the entire time. You tell me if you think it's a good idea though.
Okay.
All the white people. I want to sound Native American. I think it would be good if my character was Native American. Do you think I can sustain that?
I don't know if
What if I was from
find
Canada?
that offensive or not.
What if I was Native Canadian? DJ Seagal.
I thought an idea that you had that was really funny was that
Carry my tomahawk.
was that you were gonna name all your moves. After,
Wait. Well, yeah, I guess we can tell people
after
that.
Steven Seagal movies.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have the attack where I come down from the top and jump on them is called Above the Law.
When you come from under, you're
It's under siege.
What was that subtitle for Under Siege 2? Dark
Territory.
Dark Territory.
When I kick them in the jump.
Yeah.
And then I guess I could do.
Well, I guess the below one could be Fire Down Below as well.
I'll have a healing spell. It's called Hard to Kill. Whenever we show up to a battle, I'm like on deadly ground. What's another one? I can't. Am I running out of movies of his?
Let's see.
My weapon is called Machete. He was the bad guy in the second one or the first one?
I remember watching the first one. I didn't know there was a second one.
Oh yeah, the second one's called like Machete Kills, right? Or Machete
I
Kills.
guess
Gosh, I don't
seen
remember. I hadn't seen it in a while. We auditioned for that movie though.
Oh, you really did?
You don't remember that story?
Uh-uh.
When they were doing auditions,
Hollywood Talk.
we were auditioning. Let me. I'll tell the story from our perspective, and then
Okay.
the audience can make up their minds. So we were auditioning for Sin City 2, which would eventually become A Dame to Kill For,
Okay.
and simultaneously we were auditioning for Machete 2. I think it was part 2
So
or
when you
1.
say you were auditioning, I guess they were down. The casting people were down here in Corpus. Or
Can
did you have
I
to send
finish the
videos,
story?
or-
Let me finish the story. There was a third movie. I just don't remember what it was, but I feel like it was like a Mexican movie,
Okay.
And so we drove all the way to Austin. It was me,
okay.
Juan, Marty, and Casey. And we drove. Oh wait, was Art there? I think Art was probably there. And we drove all the way to Austin. I think I drove in my car, and that was back with the Elantra, like when we first got the gold Elantra.
Okay.
And we stayed in a shitty hotel, and we went to this audition, and there was a line that was like a half a mile long, dude. Like it was wrapped around this building, and it was just freaking a half a mile long. And
They were basically just looking for like extras, right?
yeah, it was just extras.
Okay.
We're nobody. But we get there, and then there's all these dudes dressed in like, they all looked like they just were already in Machete, or Machete.
Okay.
They were already dressed in their leather pants and their leather vests. They all looked like the Desperado characters. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And every single one of them looked like that. And there was a bunch of like native looking people, and they'd be having like Indian headdresses and shit. And I'm just like, what is going
Well,
on?
what were you wearing?
Dude, all of us were dressed in like t-shirts and like jeans, and then Marty freaking busts out his long black button up with his fedora and his glasses, and I was like, man, he's really got it on display.
Oh man.
And so, so we're walking up, and as we're walking up, we're talking to people around us, and me and Casey are kind of like, look, man, at least we might be in Sin City too, because they're not picking us unless we're the bad guys in Machete, But I forgot what the other movie was. It's gonna drive me nuts.
Was
but
Robert Rodriguez there?
no, none of them were there. And in fact, the process was once we finally got inside the building, long winding upstairs, round rooms, back here, back there. Let me see your ID. Scan the ID. You had to fill out like your phone number and address and shit. And we used my cousin's address because she lived in Austin, and we just used our cell phone numbers, and they just stand over there, took a picture, and then okay, move along. And it was like, yeah, so it was quite literally just, they're looking for some specific, and also I'm kind of tall. I'm like 6 foot, 6'1", depending on what convenience store I'm walking out of, but I'm not that tall. Like Casey's taller than me, he's like 6'5", I think, and me and him were both like just giants compared to everyone else in that line. And one thing we learned from my dad, and whenever they filmed Pearl Harbor at Lexington, at the Lexington, here in Corpus, they were filming Pearl Harbor on an old aircraft carrier that we have docked or decommissioned on the beach.
And I think the stars actually did come out to Corpus for that, right?
Yeah. And so my dad went and auditioned to be an extra. And when he got there, he said the same shit. He was like, man, and my dad's not even that tall. He's like 5'10", 5'11" or something, right? He probably used to be 6 foot, but he's just shrunk. But anyway, so he goes to audition, and he said he was like, man, I was like a foot taller than everybody there. And then he said that the actors were there and that they were kind of standing off to the side, and he was like, man, those dudes are really small. And I was like, oh shit, okay. But yeah, so he thinks that he didn't get it but I mean, if you think about it, like, can you picture me standing next to Alec Baldwin?
Well, they do tricks to make the actors look bigger.
Yeah, but why are they gonna waste money on doing tricks when they could just get a 5'3" actor?
Like, isn't Tom Cruise like notoriously small?
Yeah, isn't he like 5'5" or something?
I don't know.
Oh, I think maybe 5'7". How tall is Tom Cruise? I always feel like I'm really good at guessing heights. 5'7".
Nailed it. Good job.
Dan, give me another one.
Chris Kattan. Since we were talking about him earlier.
Oh, I feel like he's probably shorter. 5'5". 5'5". Okay. How tall is Chris Kattan? 5'5". Okay. Give me another one.
One more. Let's see if we can make it 3 for 3. Let's see. How tall is Tom Hiddleston?
Ooh, Tom Hiddleston standing next to Chris Hemsworth. He's probably about 4 or 5 inches shorter, right?
I don't know.
Chris Hemsworth is probably like 6'4", 6'5". I'm gonna guess Tom Hiddleston. I'm gonna add an inch because I'm uncertain, but I'm gonna guess it's between 6 foot and 6'1". I'm trying to settle.
Okay.
I'm trying to settle. Ian McKellen, I think, is like 6'2" or 6'3".
Quiet on the set while Caleb figures out his answer.
Let's go 6. It's either 6 foot or 6'1". I'm gonna go 6 foot.
Okay.
With the reservation that if it is 6'1", we keep going. How tall is Tom Hiddleston? 6'2".
Ooh.
I'm a fucking piece of shit.
But also, I mean, I'm sure that.
Wait.
I'm sure that.
How tall is Chris Hemsworth?
They over exaggerate.
Really? How tall is Chris Hemsworth? Ooh, I was wrong. He's only 6'3". That's what threw me off, bro. That's what threw me off. Side note, because it just popped in my head and I have ADHD. Tom Hiddleston in the Thor... Is it Thor? No, it's Thor Ragnarok. When he is dressed in the black turtleneck.
I don't remember the black turtleneck.
It's whenever Thor is taking Loki to...
They're going to find Odin or whatever?
Yeah, and they go to the I think it's New York or whatever.
Yeah,
the secret Sanctum Sanctorum or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's dressed in the turtleneck and like the suit.
Wearing, but yeah.
And Thor says to him, he goes, okay, Warlock, or something like that. He makes a Warlock reference. Now, it was a great reference.
Are you talking about the movie Warlock?
Yes. He was dressed like the Warlock from Warlock, dude.
I don't think...
that was the reference, dude. I'm telling you. Like, you go look at his outfit. That was the reference. And when that happened, me and my dad were like, whoa, did he just make a Warlock reference?
The only two people that would have got that reference.
And I'm telling you, dude, I'm telling you, when that happened, I was like, and I'm pretty sure Jen saw it too. Because I had said, is that a Warlock reference? And Jen was like, yeah, that's how he was dressed. And I was like, oh shit, like we all got it. You know what I mean? And I just felt like that was something that, not everybody got to experience. And I feel like the writer of that joke deserves a clap.
People give Thor 4 a lot of shit for being
movie.
too jokey.
It's a good movie.
I liked it too.
It's a fantastic movie. Anybody who says that movie is bad is, I was gonna say a conservative, but I know that's generally who hates it because it's like nobody wants. But no, you know what though, it is true though that that it's kind of like what's his name was wasted. Oh my God, Christian Bale. That shit was way too dark for that movie.
Well, I think the darkness of Christian Bale kind of did a good job of
juxtaposing
the goofiness of Thor.
To me, it came off as disjointed. I can have criticisms of the movie while still liking it. I feel like the Christian Bale stuff was way too dark for the tone of that movie.
Oh, I guess they should have picked a different villain then, because that's what that character was all about.
Yeah,
right?
dude. He was, but I'm not. And that's not even to say Christian Bale was bad. Yeah. He was fantastic. He was too good. Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, homie is terrifying.
What has he been up to lately? I haven't seen him in anything since Thor 4, I don't think.
I think I just saw him the other day in a movie about Moses.
Moses? No, I think he did that way before.
That was a long time ago?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, shit, I don't know. I didn't know that movie got made, and I think my dad was watching it, and I'm like, okay.
But getting back to
wait,
D&D.
What are your thoughts on Moses? Were you a fan of, what's your favorite Moses story? Is it where he got, all the Jews out of Egypt?
I liked the part where he did the DX chop and split the water.
He's like, all right, Pharaoh, suck it.
But getting back to D&D, so your character, Amnesia, Steven Seagal based, possibly talks like a Native American.
What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think
you
people
think
might
that's
find
offensive?
But
that's my heritage, Canadian, Native Canadian.
Okay, but that's still Native American. But I was.
Please don't anyone be offended. I think that voice sounds good.
I've been wanting to do a robot necromancer, but
what's his name gonna be?
I haven't thought of a name yet, but I think I might skip that and go with maybe like a druid, just because we do need a healer.
No, you do mean a robot druid? Why don't you do a robot druid?
Yeah, I guess I could do a robot druid.
You have to do the robot part.
Okay, but yeah, we do need a healer. So
is Marty gonna be?
Because Marty wanted to be like a wizard.
Yeah, he wanted to be a rogue.
A wizard rogue, right?
No, he wanted to be a rogue, but the rogue is dressed like a wizard.
Oh, okay.
And then in parentheses, hilarity ensues.
Okay. Bobby had this idea from way back in the day that I remember. That I guess I reminded her about it, and she didn't remember she came up with it. But her idea was a druid that went to druid college, and now she's adventuring to pay off her student loans.
That's a good one.
So I might steal that from Bobby.
Can her name be Drew?
Yeah, maybe.
That'd kind of be funny. So we can be like, Drew.
So we still at some point need to actually come up with all our stats and skills and stuff. So
that's just a quick roll. I don't think it's going to take that long for setup. Like, on the day we could do that shit from home. Like, just roll.
We do need at some point to lug everything out to the garage and set it up beforehand to make sure it's actually going to work the way we want it. Because remember, I do have work that day, so we kind of want to get started like ASAP as soon as I get out. So we don't want to have like hours of setup before we actually start filming.
As long as we take the break to eat. No, we're just gonna eat while we're doing it. We need a fourth person, like guaranteed.
Yeah. I haven't talked to Erica yet. I was going to talk to her about it today, but
I wonder if it would be possible for us to set up a rail on the ceiling and put a phone, like strap a phone and just like balance it and then just let it circle us the whole time to get some shots like that.
yeah, we're going to have to figure out all the shots and stuff before we go out there for sure.
I'm thinking it's just going to look the same way like this, like how we usually split it. So it'll be 2 on top, 2 on bottom, and we'll put Greg in the left-hand side. We got to get Greg to talk more because he's always so damn quiet.
I think that's how pretty much how Acquisitions Incorporated did it. So
I could make a really fancy D&D table, and then we could give it away as a thing for the show.
I don't know about giveaways, man, because only 4 people entered it last time.
Then that means that everyone here is like, oh, only 4 people, and I got a sweet D&D table, but it's just gonna be a fold out.
And Johnny did, if anyone was wondering, Johnny did receive his Venture Brothers movie Blu-ray.
And he told us it was his favorite movie of all time. No, I didn't say that. Sorry, Johnny. I didn't mean to put words in your mouth. He's gonna quit watching the show.
So once again, congratulations, Johnny, for your brand new movie, and
honestly,
thank you for watching us, supporting us.
I don't want to take anything away from Johnny's total domination victory over everyone else. But also thank everybody like who commented and stuff. I know like some of them probably don't even watch because they commented on freaking Instagram. Like Francis, hey yo, shout out Francis. But Francis, Esoteric and White, and I don't remember the name of the other one. I'm sorry, name of the other one, but I forgot their name. Do you remember the fourth person?
I wrote it down in my notebook, but yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head.
We tattooed them on. We're planning on getting tattoos of everybody who comments forever, and it's gonna just encompass our entire body. And then, what was the line from The Frighteners when the guy?
Oh, it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
I love that movie. That was Peter Jackson. But,
oh, was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was a Peter Jackson joint.
I was like, no, that's Michael J. Fox.
The guy who was like the detective, whenever he opened his jacket and he was all cut up and scarred, he said, my body is a road map of pain. I think he said pain. I don't remember the line exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember.
What's your favorite part of Frighteners?
Dude, it's been so long, dude. I couldn't even tell you.
My favorite part of The Frighteners is realizing that Jake Busey is the ghost, and then remembering Jake Busey from Contact.
Oh, dude, Jake Busey from Contact, that dude was so evil.
Right? That's what I'm saying, dude.
When Jodie Foster's like driving by him and he's just like looking at her.
And at the end, whenever he's on the thing to blow it up, or I shouldn't say the end, but like the middle.
Yeah.
And he's on that thing and he's like staring at the camera like, and I'm like, God damn, Jake Busey. God damn. I like Jake Busey. He was great in Starship Troopers, in Tomcats. He was. I'm not even being funny. Like I like Jake
Starship
Busey.
Troopers was good.
You didn't like Tomcats?
I don't remember seeing Tomcats.
That's the one with Jerry O'Connell, Horatio Sands, and Jake Busey, and they make the bet on the last one to get married wins the bet, and they get all the money.
I don't remember that.
But Horatio Sands is married to, I think it was Jamie Presley, and so the whole movie he thinks she's cheating on him, so he keeps like kicking open doors, and he finds her in a position or something, but like it's like with another lady who helping her stretch. And so like it's really funny because he's always like, you know, oh, you fucking cheated on me. It's just, I don't know, it's just really funny.
Like that scene on from Old Dads when Bill Burr goes,
Yeah.
You fucking caught her. Speaking of Bill Burr, though, over the weekend, Donald Trump came out to a UFC event.
Oh shit, really?
And when he's sitting down, you can see Bill Burr in the background with his wife, and his wife flips off Donald Trump.
Oh. Did she do it because she knew she was on camera, or she just did it?
I don't know if she knew if she was on camera or not, but
That's kind of funny.
Anything else you want to get to today? I don't know what our time is at, because
Robert De Niro's assistant had sued him for, what was it, for not abuse, but
sexual harassment or something.
I don't think it was sexual harassment. I also don't know if we could say that. And that's why you always hear
allegedly.
You always hear people say SA and SH and stuff, you know?
What does SH mean? An SA mean?
Harassment and assault.
Oh, well, I think I did read something about that too, but I mean, let's just say allegedly. So
No, I don't think it was that. I think he was just like being mean.
I can see him being mean. Yeah.
These are my thoughts, right?
okay.
The man's made some good movies, and he does goofy shit in
Meet
the
the
real
Fockers
world.
1, Meet the Fockers 2,
I was more of a fan of the
or I
third.
guess Meet the Parents. I guess Meet the Parents 1 and 2, and then Meet the Fockers, right?
What's your favorite Robert De Niro movie?
Casino's pretty good. I'm gonna say The War with Grandpa.
Is that a movie?
I think so. It's like a kids movie.
Shit, I didn't even know that.
I actually haven't seen it. That was a joke.
I like him in Frankenstein. Was it Mary Shelley's Frankenstein? He played Frankenstein.
It's not the one with the blonde guy with the it's not the one with Two-Face.
Was Aaron
Two-Face.
Eckhart?
Yeah, didn't Aaron Eckhart make a Frankenstein movie?
Did he play the monster?
I think so.
No, in the movie I'm talking about was in the 90s, and De Niro played the monster.
Okay. Yeah, Aaron Eckhart.
What was De Niro gonna play the doctor? He's like, hey, come over here, you fucking Frankenstein monster.
Aaron Eckhart
Put
was
some skin on you.
Frankenstein, and I guess he had to do battle with a bunch of gargoyles.
He was like a handsome Frankenstein. Like that's a first. I guess that's
actually,
one way to go with it.
I think I read somewhere that they were also rebooting Gargoyles. I'm not sure who that's for. I remember liking it as a kid, but I do not care about it anymore, so I don't know if you watched that when you were a kid.
I was okay. I liked gargoyles. I always thought the gargoyles from Gargoyles were related to the gargoyles from Hunchback of Notre Dame,
Yeah, maybe.
but they weren't.
I remember watching Gargoyles before school.
Before school, we always watched music videos on MTV. Back when MTV played music videos.
Oh, here we go, old man yelling about
That's exactly
MTV.
right. MTV used to play music videos, and we would watch stuff like Chumbawamba, and we would watch stuff like No Doubt.
The only time I ever watched MTV was when they would play Al TV.
You never watched Liquid Television?
With Aeon Flux and everything? No,
Yeah.
I never watched it.
That was pretty good. Did you ever watch VH1 Behind the Music?
Nope.
What was the show? I know we're just kind of rambling, but what was the name of the show? I don't remember what it was. It was a spoof on VH1's Behind the Music. And they would do shit like Behind the Music, and it was I don't remember what it was about, but that was where we got the line Star Wars, gotta love my Star Wars. Like that was like, it was like a line
No.
that they said, and it was real silly. And so then after that, we used to use that, format, that template to replace with words and make fun of other people. And I don't remember what it was. It was some, it was like Behind the Music parodies on, it was Fuse, or maybe it was VH1.
No, I don't remember.
But they were like I don't know, 10 minutes long. They weren't even that long. But it was like, what you got? And I was like, what? And he was like, what? And it's like literally, it's just these stupid little
Okay.
non sequitur jokes. And I don't know why those stuck with us so much. And then nobody even fucking remembers that shit. That's
All right.
like the history of my life, is I remember all of this random things that nobody ever cared about.
Yeah, I was watching last week's pod, and you went off on that tangent about Rochambeau or whatever it was.
The Tiki Tiki Tombo No Sa Rambo.
And you were just off there by yourself, looking it up, talking it, and no one was like paying attention to you at all.
But it's crazy to me that nobody remembered that. because all of you guys are like y'all super woke liberals. That's a Native American book, all right?
Okay. But yeah, that was something you remembered, and your ADHD forced you to look it up right then and there.
Well, no, because I had said the Tiki Tiki Tombo. I think no Tiki Tiki.
Here we go again.
Tiki Tiki Timbo. But I didn't remember because in my brain when I said it, my brain auto completed No Rambo. And so then I thought, whoa, wait a second. Where did that come from? Like even I didn't remember what it was from. And so I thought, well, is that a book? Because I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you what my fear is.
Okay.
My fear is that I have memories of things that didn't happen.
Oh my God.
That's my fear. So like I feel, because okay, have you ever woke up from a dream? Okay. And then you continue your day and then you're like, hey, yeah, earlier I did this, and you're like, whoa, wait, no, I didn't do that. That was a fucking dream I just had. Where you remember a dream
and think it happened in IRL.
Well, not think it happened because think about it. This is actually kind of a little deeper of a conversation. What happened in your dream does not exist as a functional memory for anyone else but you.
Okay.
But in your head, it exists because it happened in your head.
Makes sense.
So therefore, if you recall a dream, it's like it happened. It's something that did happen. Only you know about it, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
But none of the events that took place happened.
Okay, I follow.
So how weird is it to reference a dream as in it's like you're going through your whole day and you're experiencing life, and then also when you sleep you're having these experiences, and then you wake up and you're having to remember all of it. You know what I mean? Like it's overwhelming.
Okay.
And so have you ever referenced something that happened in a dream and then realized that you're making a reference that there's
like to someone else?
Yeah, like to somebody else.
No, I don't think I've done that.
Like that's happened to me a few times where I had a dream and then like it was one of those, like it's all too real. Sometimes like I had a dream once, and I know people are sitting there thinking, I don't want to hear this motherfucker's dream. I had a dream. Long story short, I had a dream where I was in someone's house and they had like a mountain of memory cards.
A PS2 memory cards?
PS1 memory cards. That's how far back this goes.
All right.
PS1 memory cards. And because I have those carrying cases for memory cards up there. And like when I was a kid, nobody else had those. And I got those bitches at Sam's Club. And I always thought like, well, man, Sam's Club has everything. You know what I mean?
I used to put my PS2 memory cards in the game case.
PS2. I'm talking PS1.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. My bad.
So I have like a PS1 jewel case that holds 4 memory cards.
Useful.
And I never saw that ever before, and I don't see it as a common thing now. But anyway, so...
Well, now, I mean, memory cards aren't a thing, but...
True. Oh, there's all these kids right now. I say there's all these kids watching our channel.
Yeah.
No, there's not.
But I mean, Switch games, they're basically like tiny little memory cards. So
yeah,
you have
true.
carrying cases for those.
So yeah, basically I had that dream, and then years later I remember having a conversation with somebody about memory cards, and I was like, yeah, I used to have all these, and I'm stopping myself, and I was like, wait a second, I only have like a handful of memory cards. Why am I recalling a fucking dream right now? Why is a dream popping into my head when I think of memory cards? You know what I mean? Like memory recall is just weird. I guess that's the point of all of this.
I'm sure I could remember my dreams if I made an effort to remember them, but I never do, so...
I would write down my dreams, like, back in the day, because I remember reading a book that was like...
That's probably why you remember them so well.
I remember a book that was like, because I used to have, like, crazy, weird, movie-style twists and turn dreams,
If we can find it, we should bust it out next episode and read a couple of
pages.
No,
this journal does not exist. I remember most of them. Okay. I actually remember like most of every dream that were like memorable, but I had to throw that away because my mom found it one time, and because I mean obviously everybody has weird dreams, but my mom found it one time and she was like, "Why are you writing this filth?" And I was like, "What do you mean?"
Filthy dreams.
But it was a dream about me and Sandra Bullock like
nice.
hanging out, height of her career to me was Speed, and so she was like, "Why are you writing all this in here?" And I was like, "It's a fucking dream I had. What am I supposed to do? I vowed to always chronicle my dreams." It's not my fault that some are good, some are bad. I also wrote one about how you murdered me. Did you like that one? She's like, "That's the one I'm talking about." And I'm like, "Oh." So I threw all those away.
So would you do the same thing with Penny, or if she had a dream book?
I wouldn't go digging in her journal. To me, that's the weird thing. You know what I mean? Like if my kid's writing something. But then again, I have a really good relationship with my daughter that if I feel like she knows if she ever has any problems, she can come talk to me and have the conversations with me. Like she's only going to be 10 and she was telling me about these intrusive thoughts that she was having.
Okay.
And
telling her to play Roblox?
Well, I was telling her,
Fortnite?
I explained to her what it was. The concept of intrusive thoughts and how, baby, everybody gets them. You're probably going to have my brain. And so, like, explaining that to her, though, I feel... I mean, you already know, like, we don't shy away from telling her things. If she wants to understand something, then we explain it to her. Mm-hmm. And I think she'll benefit from that. And as a result, I hope that she would always trust us.
Yeah, the other week, weren't you telling me that you were talking to her about like nuclear war or something?
Yeah, she came to me about I guess my parenting. My daughter came to me and she was like, "Dad, I was watching this movie and it was pretty scary," and she was telling me about it and she was like, it was stupid like ghost stuff, right? And I was like, "Okay." I said, "Yeah, that's really cool." And she goes, "Oh, you don't care about scary stuff?" And I was like, "Well, it's just, Daddy finds, different things scary." And she's like what? I go, "You want me to show you a scary movie?" And so I showed her the Elephant's Foot documentary on YouTube about the Chernobyl explosion.
Shown her the Chernobyl miniseries on HBO.
You talking about the tapes?
No, like the actual reenactment series they did.
I watched the one about the tapes where you could listen to all the audio tapes of all the calls coming in, but I couldn't read. I couldn't keep up with the subtitles, so I was like, "You know what? You could have narrated this," and then turned it off. But yeah, so now she's like super knowledgeable about Chernobyl and she was scared to death that the radiation was going to get to us. And I was like, "Baby, that was like 30 years ago. You're safe. Until it happens again."
And also on the other side of the world. So
I was like, "You're safe until it happens again." Well, because she, I mean, think about it, right? She's like, "Well, what if like birds get it on them and then they migrate over this way and then, just ipso facto, they finally get to America."
Before they made it over here. You should tell Penny she should be way more worried about global warming
current stuff
for her age.
But, yeah, so like I feel like she is definitely a little more emotionally. She's learning to be emotionally intelligent, I guess is the word.
Well, that's good.
And or at least I hope. All this could backfire, and then next week she comes home and she's like, "I listen to My Chemical Romance now, Dad."
Oh no, that's not gonna happen.
She's like,
not to none of my nieces.
She says, "I listen to The Crown," and I'm like, "Get out of this house."
I told you before, I'm gonna get her a Judas Priest CD for her birthday this year.
See if she likes it.
I mean, I'm also gonna get her something she actually wants. My mom's gonna get her something I want for her to have.
I'll preface it. Her musical taste is pretty much the same as mine, which is, as long as it sounds good, she'll listen to it. Because I gave her that Aqua CD. I gave her my Aqua CD, Aquarium, not Aquarius, if anyone was wondering. What was their third album called?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know the band Aqua?
Nope.
Barbie Girl?
Isn't that pink?
No, that's Aqua.
Oh.
A different color.
Didn't Pink do a song about Barbie too?
No. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Why do I think that was Pink?
Because you don't pay attention to pop culture.
That's kind of true.
Aqua. It was a whole band. They also sang Candyman, and Roses are red and violets are blue.
No.
Yum dee dum dee dum. I don't know
that
that.
song.
I fucking loved Aqua. I also gave her a Shakira CD. She's a big fan. The Laundry Service CD, naturally, because I had multiple copies of it.
Naturally.
Yeah. Well, because so like every time they put out like a collection or something, they add like tracks or something. I bought it back in the day, so I had like 2, maybe 3 copies of Laundry Service, and I gave her my original, so she has my original Laundry
So it doesn't
Service.
have any of the bonus tracks.
Yeah, she doesn't need them. That's for daddy. I think it came with a DVD also. What's your favorite Shakira album?
Dude, I could not tell you the name of any of them.
I'm gonna have to go with MTV Unplugged.
I'm gonna go with the Zootopia soundtrack.
Dude, that's a great song. What's the name of that damn song? I listen to it all the time. Actually, one year it was in my top 5 Spotify songs, like at the end of the year.
I remember hearing that song while we were playing fighting games. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
love that
It was
fucking
definitely on your playlist.
I guess we'll wrap it up because all the viewers are definitely.
Yep. Hopefully next week we can have at least 3 people. But
You know what else though?
see what happens.
Audience. Sometimes there's people that are out there that probably have like a good amount of stuff to say and can talk, or just sit here while me and Kevin talk, and we can be like, "Yo, what do you want to do something? Why don't y'all hit us up? Maybe we'll have you on as a guest."
Yeah.
Local people. Could do a short where we're just like, no, I think I can turn a short out of that Chernobyl story
Yeah.
with Penny.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Like and subscribe.